Sorry I'm late. Just woke up 2 minutes ago.
Run, run, run as fast as you can, but you'll never be as fast as the Flash, man. That sounded way better in my head. Yikes. Anyway, no matter if it's Barry Allen, Jay Garrick, Wally West, or other variants, the Flash really holds a special place in all our hearts. Not only is the Flash the fastest hero, he is also the strongest hero in the DCEU. That's right, he's even stronger than the Man of Steel. Okay, maybe not now, but he soon will be. The DCEU's Barry Allen is only a rookie compared to the veteran we know he'll become. When the time comes, the Flash will save the world, and may already have. Anyone who doesn't know who the Flash is would probably say, yeah, he's fast, but how is he the strongest hero in the DCEU compared to someone like Superman, who many believe is the strongest superhero outright? While super speed is the Flash's forte, what he can do with his speed and how fast he can actually run is where his strength lies. Focusing on Barry Allen, the Flash's top speed has been known to be faster than the speed of light. And for any of my science nerds out there, that's around 670 million miles per hour. Yeah, real fast. Compare this to Superman, and the Flash definitely hasn't beaten a race around the world, and this isn't even his limit. In the comics, the Scarlet Speeder has been known to hold back his speed due to fear that he may rip a hole in time and space. It's not like he needs to run that fast anyway. When running at his max speed, or really any speed compared to the normal, all time around the Flash seems to stop. Objects moving at immense speeds only seem to be moving 1 mile per hour, giving Barry excellent reaction time and superhuman reflexes. You thought Quicksilver rescuing everyone in X-Men was cool? Barry can evacuate all of Tokyo in 30 seconds. Speed isn't the only thing that allows Allen to perform this feat. Barry alone is a genius, and his speed accentuates that. While Superman can react to things at a tremendous speed and predict where an attack may be coming from, the Flash can almost see the future. Of course, he could actually travel into the future using a time rift, but what I mean is Barry has the ability to perceive what is about to or has happened, weigh every possible outcome, and then react with the correct choice. In a high-speed battle between Big Blue and the Scarlet Speeder,
Slowpoke.
Oh, it's on.
mental fortitude and ability would be the deciding factor, as when you really look at it, anything the Flash can do, so can Superman in some capacity. So where does Barry take the win in this debate of the most powerful hero? Many who are hardcore Flash fans know that Barry has accelerated healing, can vibrate his molecules to a level that can generate heat and throwable lightning, and can phase through objects and people. Now originally, I thought Barry could pull a Thawne and phase through Superman's chest and stop his heart and all that. However, Superman's skin may be too dense for even Barry to phase through. If these two were in a head-to-head fight, their battle would come down to one ability not even Superman can recreate. Due to his connection with the Speed Force, which the Flash created in some weird time paradox, the Flash has the ability to steal kinetic energy from any object or person, including Superman. In the comics, this was an ability Wally West created, leaving it to be something the DCEU Flash could master. If Barry was successful, essentially it would leave Clark Kent unable to move, creating an opening for Barry's greatest weapon, the Infinite Mass Punch. Basically, this move is the Flash's trump card if he's traveling at or near the speed of light. As he approaches light speed, his mass exponentially increases, resulting in a punch that packs the power of a white dwarf star, which would be enough to take down any super, including Superman. Now, the question is, can Barry actually pull this move off? The Flash of the DCEU is nowhere near the level of strength his comic counterpart is at. I mean, he just got his name after meeting the CW's Flash. However, with the DCEU looking like it's going to tell one of Flash's greatest stories, it looks like Barry will be coming into his own sooner rather than later. Flashpoint. The event merged multiple DC comic timelines, but more importantly was the catalyst to Barry Allen truly becoming the Flash beyond the title. For those who have no idea what Flashpoint is, then you are in the right place. Essentially, Flashpoint was an alternate timeline created by Barry after saving his mother from her cruel fate. However, this new world was nothing Alan could have imagined or even wanted. In this twisted reality, Bruce Wayne passed away rather than his parents, and his father, Thomas Wayne, ended up becoming the Dark Knight. Atlantis and the Amazonians are at war, and our favorite heroes are caught in the crossfire. It's basically the end of the world due to Barry's selfishness, but this is unknown to Alan. Finding the reverse Flash suit in his ring, Flash believes Eobard Thawne is the cause of this nightmare. Barry has a huge problem though. In this era, the Flash doesn't exist. Barry is powerless, and with each passing moment, his memories of the old timeline fade. To bring an end to this war, prevent the end of humanity, and supposedly stop Thawne, Barry enters a race against the clock to recreate the events that made him the Flash. However, in a clash gone horribly wrong, the Reverse Flash Barry learns the truth. Everything that has occurred is Barry's doing, and things are only going to get worse unless Alan can do the one thing he could never do: let go. By running back in time, Barry can prevent this reality from ever happening, but this also means he must let his mom pass away. Will he choose saving millions of lives over just one? Of course he will! As the world comes to an end, a battered and bruised Barry Allen, who was able to regain his powers, enters the Speed Force and travels back in time to stop himself from saving his mother, saving the world from destruction. When it comes to the question of who the most powerful hero is, I believe that there are two sides to that coin. On one side are the hero's powers, strength, and abilities. On the other side is morality and the willingness to sacrifice. For most heroes, loved ones have always been their Achilles heel, as it was for Barry. The loss of his mother shaped him to be the hero he was destined to become, but it also created Flashpoint. In this new reality, Barry could have easily ignored the cries of the world and enjoyed a new life with his mom. When that world ended, rather than going back to fix things, he could have tried to find a way that his mom and the world could survive. What makes Barry such a powerful hero is, despite gaining the one thing he ever wanted, he gave it up, went through torment to regain his powers, and stopped this daunting reality from ever existing. Barry chose the world over his one true desire, and this isn't the only time he would do this. An example of Alan's heroic sense of character is in Crisis on Infinite Earths. In this iconic storyline, Barry literally ran himself out of existence trying to stop the Anti-Monitor's plan to destroy the multiverse. If we want to talk more about Barry's power, we can discuss the final Crisis event where Barry Allen ran himself back to life while outrunning the Black Racer, who is essentially the Grim Reaper. Also, not only did Barry outrun the Black Racer, but he also outrun and guided both Black Racer and Darkseid's Omega effect on a collision course through the Speed Force to take down Darkseid once and for all. Throughout the comics, there are so many instances where Barry has saved the world and proved why he is the strongest hero. While the DCEU's Flash is just getting started, events like Flashpoint, Crisis, and others will push Barry to the same heights. Barry, like his comic counterpart, will save the world, and he may already have. Okay, so you're gonna have to bear with me for a second because this theory is deep and very meta. In Batman v Superman, we were introduced to Flash through Knightmare, Bruce's dream sequence showcasing a future where the Justice League failed, Superman took people's hearts for fun, and Darkseid took over the world. When Bruce wakes, we learn that Barry is too early in his time travel adventure and encourages Bruce to find the others and form the Justice League before it's too late. Future Flash vanishes, and we get 2018 Justice League, which was a mess due to Zack Snyder's departure and Joss Whedon practically reshooting everything. Now here is where things get meta. According to a Reddit theory from user Kingzilla2000, it suggested that when Barry went back in time to Flashpoint the future, he went even further back in time afterwards and changed the entire DCEU, making Snyder's vision for the universe and Warner Brothers two separate timelines. According to Kingzilla, the former, or Snyder's story, would have led to the end of the world. This has also been confirmed by Snyder, as Justice League 2 would have been set entirely during Knightmare, meaning the Justice League was originally going to fail. However, we know they didn't, and it seems that in the current route the DCEU is headed, Darkseid wants nothing to do with the League. That's not all that's changed either. Batman's personality almost did a complete 180. Rather than being dark and brooding, he's cracking jokes with the team. There's no mention of Knightmare or the fact that Flash told him about Darkseid. Also, the creation of the Justice League seems to be more of a reaction to Steppenwolf's attack versus being preemptive. Why? Because the Flash going further back in time created an entirely new timeline, giving us the Joss Whedon version of the Justice League. Now I know this theory sounds wild, as we know the real reason why the DCEU is changed. However, if Warner wanted to take things this route, then the story is there, especially when looking at Suicide Squad. In Batman v Superman, Lex Luthor presents a theory called the metahuman thesis, an idea that metahumans live among everyday people. Opening the file, we find that this thesis is centered around the Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg. However, 1 year later in Suicide Squad, we learn that the world has always had metahumans around, and there's no way no one realized a giant crocodile man was roaming the sewers up to this point. Similar to the TV iteration of the Flash, through his Speed Force travels, Barry may have created metahumans, and more changes may be coming soon. When Justice League was originally announced, it was speculated that many, if not all of the Justice League would perish, leaving Barry to travel back in time to save the day. While this story point was cut for the theatrical release, it's been teased by Zack Snyder that this story could unfold in the upcoming Snyder Cut. It's also been teased that the upcoming Flash film that will be centered around Flashpoint will reboot the DCEU, but not forget where it started. What this boils down to is many different timelines existing within the DCEU. One where Flash saves the world by warning Bruce, aka the current DCEU. One where the Justice League fails and Knightmare happens despite defeating Steppenwolf, aka the Snyder timeline. And one Barry soon will create through Flashpoint. I believe, much like these comics, that these three timelines will merge together after the events of Flashpoint, giving us an entirely new DCEU and dive into the multiverse, as Matt Reeves' The Batman is set on one of the infinite Earths in the multiverse. Time travel has always been a complicated idea to dive into, and the chaos that is the DCEU makes it even worse. However, one thing we can be certain of is that at the center of it is the Flash. Flash may just be the greatest and most powerful hero, but he has nearly doomed the multiverse more than once. We've mentioned Flashpoint, but that pales in comparison to Wall-E destroying an entire universe in 0 hour. Guess you can't save the world every time, can you, Flash?